So before we start, I would like to say a few words about the event and some things we can learn. We learned last year at the cloud market. First of all, do you recognize this picture? This, by the way, in Hebrew because it's Ben and Jerry in Israel. And 2 days ago, when I bought Ben and Jerry ice cream, I opened the ice cream, and what I saw, a cow with a smartphone asked to be a member in Facebook of Ben and Jerry. And it just showed us how deep this cloud phenomena, the social impact of the cloud, is getting into the physical products. And today, Facebook is not only the de facto standard to log in, it's also coming as a phenomena into our physical products. And it's really amazing. And we took advantage of this just to ask you to make sure that your mobile phones are either switch off or on quiet mode. Today, we have, thanks to Amazon, we have Amazon Kindle. So for the people that will stay until the end of this event, some of you will win an Amazon Kindle, so it's worth staying. We also have announcements by Amazon that they will provide 2 days free Amazon workshop on the 6th and 7th of November, which is not very far from now. And it's limited only for 20 people. So the first 20 that will manage to register via this website, awslab.com, will have a 2 days workshop, free workshop with a professional trainer from Amazon. Also want to remind you that we have today a parallel session of workshops. The first one will start at 2:30. The room for the workshops is the right side. I mean, your side is the left side. You can come out from this door or behind the coffee door. It's a half floor up, and we will have 3 professional workshops. One of them, the IBM announcement, also will be broadcast via the internet. So we have IBM, Amazon, and Gigaspaces, and most of them will talk about very new, innovative stuff that just announced recently. So a few words about our organization. Our organization already exists 7 years. Before the word cloud was used, we call it the grid organization. And 4 years ago, about the terminology changed to cloud, we call it the cloud organization. But if you remember the roots of the grid, it's the same philosophy, looking at the network as a logical computer that provides on-demand services. And today we have more than 1,400 members, active members in different forums, both technical forums that deal with the big data scalability issues, security, management, etc., and the business challenges, like SaaS business challenges, how to build a business based on the SaaS model today. Just to remind you what cloud computing is all about, basically it's all about automation of IT as a service, and it's very similar to the energy, to the power grid, in which we get transparent automatic service when we hook to the wall. The same thing when we go home with our laptop or at work, we hook to 2 critical infrastructure. One is the power grid, the second one is the internet. And every modern economy today is based on those 2 critical infrastructures. And you see here the many similarities between those 2 infrastructures. This is, by the way, a sentence that I took from Apple. It said that this is the cloud the way it should be, automatic and effortless. And actually today we live in a reality that if you have an idea, you can submit it automatically and start make money. Like, for example, if you produce an application for iPhone, iPad, you put it on the App Store, and hopefully, if it's good enough, you start making money. And I know some people, including teenagers, that just had an idea, they didn't know how to write 1 line of code. They took somebody, a subcontractor, to implement the idea. They put it on the App Store, and they're making money. So this is like in the age of automation that the cloud provides us, and it creates a business revolution. Another interesting thing is the prediction of all the major topics that we will deal in this near future, and hopefully in this event we'll cover most of them. including the big data and obviously the cloud and all the ecosystem around it. When we talk about big data, we have to remember or understand the life cycle of communication. So the better the network performance is, we can run more applications. The range of application we can implement is becoming bigger, and the more devices we can support. But once we have more applications and more devices, we produce more data. We produce more data, we need a faster network, and so on and so on. So this is like a circle that feeds itself all the time and produces the economy of the big data. And if we look at the SaaS world, when we create a SaaS company, we have our core business activity. We learn about our users and business activity, so produce a huge log files. And those huge log files have been analyzed. We use analytics techniques to improve the service and to create more cross services. So I know many SaaS companies that started, let's say, 4 or 3 years ago, and now using all the data they collected to produce more business services and make more money. And this is another circle that feeds itself all the time. We take, for example, a case study by Zynga, that they are very proud of the fact that they can process and collect huge data, and this is like a competitive advantage compared to their competition. So they collect like 15 terabytes of game data per day, and they analyze this data, and this helps them to improve their business by daily manner. If we look at the future, if you see here, if we improve the network performance and use the network as a service, and at the future we're talking about a symmetrical network with bandwidth on demand, because today we have CPUs on demand, we have storage on demand, we don't have bandwidth on demand, which is an economical issue, because I don't want to pay a provider a very high fee for 1 giga symmetrical. I want the 1 giga to be served only when I have a peak time. So in the future, if I will have a bandwidth on demand, it will be much more economical for small, medium companies to use this service and to run much more heavy big data applications. And that will create, once we'll have the very fast symmetrical bandwidth on demand, we will be able also to create distributed clouds. Because today most of the clouds are very centered in huge data centers. But if you imagine, if we have a symmetrical 1 giga or 10 giga in the future, all of us in a matter of seconds can create on-demand distributed clouds and serve somebody. So this is a new wave of business services that can be created like in a stock market, when everybody can offer his resources and buy and sell them based on cost performance. Also, when we look at the social impact, today we have Facebook, which is the third largest country in the world. I think they already have 800 million citizens in Facebook, and this is a virtual country that can set many standards. They can educate their users in a way, influence them, and create common interest across countries. So in the future, the impact will be that we'll have virtual countries. I mean, people here in the US and Europe can decide that they have a common goal they want to push forward. And like today, we see the phenomena of demonstrations for social justice. And Facebook, because it's an infrastructure, the first time in the world gave people an infrastructure to manage their activity without being dependent on the government. Another challenge that the industry is facing is how to create a standard that enable us to compare cloud services based on cost performance and other parameters. Today we don't have such a standard, and it's very hard even for a human to sit and compare different services. But the more this market will be developed, there will be a need for a standard that will enable us to compare between cloud providers and SaaS providers, so we'll have the means to choose the right service. Thank you for your attention, and now I would like to ask Nava Levy from Cividia. She will help me today moderating this event to introduce our first speaker. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thanks for coming to this event. it's really exciting to be here. I've been dealing with cloud computing, I think, for the past 4 or 5 years, first leading NVIDIA's cloud efforts, and before that in Amdocs, heading the cloud program. And I think it's amazing what's happening in this industry in general, in the communication vertical recently, over the past few years, and specifically in Israel. And I'd like to thank Avner for organizing these events, not just these events, but all of them, all the activities. I think it made a tremendous improvement in the way that we address cloud computing in Israel, and for all the knowledge sharing and bringing the expert speakers from abroad. So a big applause for Avner and the cloud organization.